Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 11, Episode 18. Let me tell y'all something. This episode really triggered me. Honey, so if I start to go off on a rant and a whole bunch of side notes and story times that's not really story times, please forgive me in advance. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews most of the time, honey. This one might not be that lighthearted. With a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for the 18th time, then welcome back, child. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. And also, I keep forgetting to say this. Please hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it. When the episode first opens up, Kyle and the old lady that lives in the shoe, Crystal, they're talking about clothing options for the girls' trip. And I called Crystal the old lady that lives in the shoe because Kyle has her phone propped up in this shoe. And I was sitting here thinking, why can't Kyle ever get ready without conferring with someone else? Child, you can't pick out your clothes. Girl, if it's going to be cold, put a sweater in there. If it's not, then put your Daisy Dukes on. Girl, goodbye. So they started talking about what to wear and what not to wear, and the fact that Erica and Sutton didn't speak to each other at the party, blah, 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 blah. And now they're all going on a trip together. Honey, they'll be fine as long as you don't push Sutton to continue to ask her questions. Sutton, tell her what you said, Sutton. As long as you don't do that, then they'll be okay. Moving forward. Over at Casa Hilton, she's trying to find the right blouse to wear. Let me tell y'all something. I love the word blouse. It's such an older lady word, but I love it. I'm like, let me see what blouse is going to go with these slacks. So it is just a fool. I don't know why that word is so funny to me, but it is. And my mama says it all the time. She's like, are you going to wear that blouse? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not wearing a blouse, honey, okay, because I'm still popping. I'm actually wearing a shirt. And yes, this is the one I chose to wear. Anything else? Ciao, goodbye. Anywho, that's just a side note. So then she calls Dorit in her bare face, and Kathy tells her how beautiful her event was. Kathy asked about what happened with Garcelle, right? And let me tell you something. Even though, you know, Kathy's a little bit endearing and whatnot, I still kind of got like a little bit of an attitude that you did not come to the Haitian night at Garcelle's house, but then you want to call Dorit and tell Dorit how fabulous it was to see those 4 wedding dresses in the middle of her dining room. But let's carry on. So anywho, they started talking about that, and Dorit was like, you know, me and Garcelle, we had words, and she's making very bold statements, such as she feels like an outsider. Dorit, I'm going to tell you this again, honey, and I ain't going to say it no more. Those are her feelings. If she feels that way, that is her truth. I know you hate for anyone to think you're being mean, but Garcelle does not feel included in this group. Do you understand? Moving forward. She's like, you know, she's saying that we're coming for her. Friends don't do that. You are not her friend. You don't like her, okay? You don't like her, and that's okay. Once again, she starts talking about how Garcelle needs to be open and honest. Dorit, please spare me, honey. It's exhausting, okay? So in the middle of this, Kathy is like, I'm just getting my makeup and stuff, but go ahead. You can keep talking. So Dorit is talking in circles or whatever about all these jabs. All the while, Kathy is putting on eyeliner. I'm like, this is just a fool. Dorit, you talk entirely too much, honey. You're a motor mouth, okay? The same way you talk to Kyle and let it go, do the same with Garcelle. Okay, because they've said worse about you. You'll be fine. Kathy is like, oh, okay. Yeah, I see. I understand. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go. See you soon. Child, Kathy's so unbothered. She could really care less. In the next scene, all the ladies arrive at Kyle's house to get on the road. And I'm wondering why they're caravanning instead of riding together. That's what I was wondering. I'm like, not a caravan. Child. Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. I don't know why that just popped into my head, honey. That's just a side note. Shout out to Isley, Jasper Isley. So once inside, you know, Sutton is telling Lisa Rinna about her bruised, sprained ankle. And she said she's been keeping this secret and she's been in pain secretly for years. She said, I'm going to fight back because I want to get back in my shoes because my shoes, they're a work of art. And let me tell you something, Sutton, I am with you. Let me just give y'all a little bit of a story time that's not really a story time. I have literally been wearing heels since I was in the 7th grade. I used to wear heels to school every single day. I would wear heels to get the mail. if I could. Let me tell y'all something. I love me a pair of heels. And I think I've told y'all that several times throughout these reviews. But honey, that's just me. And I remember that I broke my foot in August of 2018 and my foot is still healing. And I still try to fit myself into a pair of heels, honey. It hurts, but it's got to be done. When I could not wear my heels, I almost died. Honey, I have hundreds of pairs of shoes. I am a shoe whore. I love shoes, all types of shoes, honey. I want to build an entire west wing of my home, not to be confused with the west wing over there at the Etch-a-Sketch house on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Me and Giselle, we are not the same, but I want to build an entire west wing just so I can house my shoes. And child, I'm done. So Kyle frantically comes down the stairs. Kyle, why are you never ready? Like, why are you always so frantic? You have too many children to be this frantic all the time. Your bag should have been by the door last night. So Erica Jane shows up with the dog. And she's like, yeah, the dog is in the car, so I'm just going to go ahead and get on the road. Is this a service dog? Girl, since when y'all start bringing animals? Okay, child. It must be one of those dogs for comfort. Maybe that's what it is. One of those dogs that give you comfort when you're facing something. So here's Crystal. Crystal is like, Erica is brilliant. She brings a dog to get away from people she doesn't like. Sign me up. First, Erica's a bonehead. Okay, second, Crystal, shut up. Who do you have a problem with in this group? Huh? Who? You and Sutton hashed things out and have not said anything to each other since. You have not had any problems. You are getting on my nerves. And you bring absolutely nothing to this season, okay? So they all get on the road, but Kathy didn't have her phone, so she had to get the lady that works at her house. Kathy, I'm going to need you to know the lady's name, honey, and I'm doing air quotes. Humanize your staff, please. Honey, I didn't like that. She's like, Kyle, call the lady. And Kyle's like, what's the lady's name? She's like, I don't know. It's the lady. Child, Ooh, child, this episode here. Honey, this episode here. Erica arrives first with her dog, and she says she needs to get away from her troubles for a bit. So then Sutton gets there, but now her foot is hurting even worse. Her ankle has started to swell. It's probably for the best. Let these heifers get settled before you let them throw you under the bus some more. It didn't really look that swollen to me, but honey, anything to escape Erica and all that stern, slow talking she likes to do. Or what? Or what? Y'all know I cannot do a review without it. Child, she should have never said that, because y'all know I'm going to repeat it every chance I get. So Sutton calls Kyle to tell her she needs to get to the ER because her foot is acting up. So instead of Kyle having concerns, here she goes. Well, I wasn't looking forward to Erica and Sutton together, so maybe they need a little more time apart, a little bit more space. Sutton is usually quiet and fine if y'all leave her alone. It's you, Renna, and Dorit that keeps fanning the fire. You are the ones that start the mess. In the next scene, Kathy planned for the ladies to have a pop-up picnic on the beach. So they all get down there, and child Kathy running and chasing the seagulls and whatnot. I was like, what is happening? Then the sea lions started getting it popping. I'm like, oh, child, honey, they're engaging in sexual activity upon the beach. Child and Kathy didn't want to see them hunching and whatnot, and it was a whole mess. When they sit down to eat, Sutton calls Kyle, and here she goes. It's Sutton. Sorry, Erica. What are you apologizing to Erica for? Sutton is a part of this group as well. If she wants to call, she can call. I think I might be ready for this season to end because they all getting my pressure up. Everybody getting on my nerves. Everybody's acting crazy. Let's just wrap it up, okay? So Sutton is telling the group on speakerphone that she has to be on crutches for a while. And mid-sentence, here's Renna. Oh, okay, well, rest up. We'll see you back at the hotel. Lisa, you are not in charge. Ugh. God forbid Erica feels uncomfortable by the sound of Sutton's voice. Honey, I think she's going to be okay. Allow her to finish what she was saying. I cannot stomach Renna. I cannot stand her. I hope that this is her last season. I really do not like Renna. There's very rarely a housewife character, okay, because that's exactly what they portray on these shows, that gets me up in arms like Renna. I cannot stand her. I hate the way that she speaks. I hate the way that she gaslights people. I hate how fake and phony she is. Everything about her. And I'm sick of looking at that same hairstyle from 1972. And there's that. Moving forward. So then Renna is like, aw, bummer. Girl, you don't care about that lady. Dorit is like, well, how do you feel about Sutton, Erica? Here's Erica. Well, let me be clear. Let me clear this up really fast. To be called a liar, it's not okay with me because I'm not lying. Well, honey, then we know you haven't been okay for a while then, honey, because, baby, we think you're lying through your pretty little teeth, allegedly. She's like, that is something I will not tolerate. Well, I'm sure she's shaking in her crutches and whatnot. Girl, please. Dorit said, did she say liar? Kyle said, yes. She said she's already proven that she's lied. Rinna goes, did she say that word? Kyle said, she gave an example. Erica said, what example? Kyle said, the car accident. Flashback to her telling this lie about Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Moving forward, Dorit goes, what head injury though? I know he was in a bad accident and was unconscious for 12 hours. She goes, yeah, allegedly. Woman, okay? How can it be alleged when it came straight from your mouth? So it's not that you're a liar. You're just a bad liar. That's what it is. In true Kyle confessional fashion, here she go. Well, what does that mean? You're the one that told us that. Why are you saying allegedly? Because she's a bold-faced lie, Kyle. Keep up. Dorit is like, yeah, well, he told you about the 12 hours though, right? Erica was like, yeah, well, girl, please. Dorit said, well, he was going to have surgery because of it. Here go Erica. He was going to have surgery on his ankle to pin it. But I said no because I don't want him underneath anesthesia, because after you have a TBI, you shouldn't be underneath anesthesia. They're like, what's a TBI? She's like, a traumatic brain injury. Well, honey, it's going to be some RBIs if you don't get them victims their money. Real bad injuries, baby. Real bad injuries. Child, this is a mess. And there's some RBLs going on as well. Real bad lies. I mean, since we're keeping with the theme of acronyms and whatnot. Child, anywho. So Dorit, this big dum-dum, she's in her confessional. She's like, I think Erica's telling the truth. It's just not all the info, which is what makes it debatable. Dorit, go back to the room and call PK, honey, because your independent thinking skills, you're really lacking. Second of all, so you can sit here and believe Erica being debatable, but you want Garcelle, who has been completely upfront, to be more honest. Shut up. So in Kyle's confessional, Kyle is like, when I met him, he was charismatic, he was engaging, and now he's incompetent. I'm confused. He lied, honey. It's all a part of the plan to paint him not in his right mind, so his decision making will make sense. So they can use it, they can spin this and use the angle. He wasn't in his right mind. He had no idea he was stealing from orphans and widows and children. Girl, goodbye. So Erica was like, I don't care if she think I threatened her. She should be threatened. Oh, it sounds like a bully. Moving forward. Garcelle finally arrives. Hey, girl. And she's being escorted to her room. And she's like, the property is pretty. Is it a lot of people here? He's like, no, it's pretty empty due to COVID. So she said, isn't this how most horror movies start? Yep, sure does, honey. And you're black too? Oh, no, ma'am. You're going to be the first to die. In the horror movies, the black person is the first to bite the dust. Do y'all hear me? She was like, it's beautiful, but if I see two little twins staring at me, I'm out. I know that's right. Then seconds later, Sutton knocks on the door in her wheelchair. Honey, they show up. All I could think of is, where is your scooter? Shout out to Nene Leaks. Child, that's all I could think of when I saw Sutton in that wheelchair. So they started talking about Erica and Sutton. And Sutton goes, listen, why am I trying so hard? I have a sprained ankle. I have my own situation. Somebody else can play detective. I'm out of it. Honey, don't worry. PK is on the case. Sudden, you think you slick. You got that wheelchair, so if Erica starts acting a fool, she would definitely look like a monster, because who yells at a lady in a wheelchair? And you ain't fooling me, child. I agree, though. If they want to know anything about Erica, honey, they can ask themselves, because, you have done quite enough. Your time is up. It's dinner time and the heifers are arriving downstairs. Nobody made mention of Sutton's wheelchair. They act like they didn't even see her, child. Dorit said something, but child, I can't even remember. They're all waiting for Kyle and Kathy to get downstairs. They're late as can be, and Rinna is calling Kyle, and the phone's just ringing and ringing and ringing. So Kyle goes, Rinna is calling. Kathy said, is she your boss? Baby, Kathy said, it's my trip and I'll be late if I want to. I know that's right. So they finally get downstairs. Now, mind you, the reservation was for 8 and now it's 9:03. So they just doing whatever they want to do. So they go around the table to see how everybody is feeling. Here goes Eric. I'm fearful. Honey, as you should be. Kathy was like, well, I'm anxious because I feel like there are lingering feelings. Am I rude for saying that? No, but we all knew it was going to come out, because how else are you heifers going to start fussing? So let's continue. Sutton said, well, I know this between me and Erica is a thing. I did call a meeting without Erica because I was in a nervous place, but I was only asking questions. She's like, I'm not apologizing for that. And she hurt my feelings, and you were scary that night. Here's Erica. Don't call me a liar. She said, I didn't. Then they do a flashback to Sutton indeed calling Erica a liar. She said, I don't care if you think I'm scary. Sutton said, I know you don't. Let me tell you something. I think that look you put together for tonight is scary. Honey, and that eyeshadow. And what else is going on? So then she goes, why are you speaking to me? I have nothing to say to you. So they go back and forth and back. And Erica is like, I'm not giving it any more energy. So Kathy said, well, can we give a little bit more forgiving? I mean, I think she chose the wrong choice of words. I don't think that she thinks that you are a liar. Yes, she does, Kathy, but it was a nice save. She's like, no. Well, honey, she would hate me because I have a lot of other words she would be called outside of a liar. Let me tell you that. She is not mad at the word liar. She's mad because she's being questioned, and those questions have other people doubting and second guessing her. And now they're starting to put together all the holes that are in her story. The word liar is not what's triggering. It's what comes behind it. So Dorit like, well, Erica was honest today. The door is closed. Shut up, Dorit. This, she said it crossed the line, and Sutton said, well, I think she crossed the line. So then Sutton goes, I'm trying to figure out why I'm the bad guy. Kyle is like, well, I don't think you're the main one. No, all of you are the main one. So Dorit goes, well, let me finish my thought because I'm trying to help you and I'm trying to say something nice. So Garcelle said, everybody is coming after her though. So Dorit's like, we're not all coming after her. Sutton was like, well, what are you going to help me with? How are you helping me? How? So Dorit was like, well, if you let me finish, this isn't an attack on Sutton. Garcelle said, well, okay, I'm not saying attack, but at Kathy's house, it was skewed to Sutton. Flashback to all these heifers telling Sutton, say something, say something, say something. So Dorit said, you've been in this group long enough to know it was to help her. You understand? Let me tell y'all something. It is something with me when a person says, understand, after they finish talking to me, honey, it makes me feel like you think I don't comprehend well. It really ruffles my feathers, especially when they speak in a condescending tone like Dorit is doing right now. I would have gone straight love and hip hop on her, but then again, honey, that's what they want. So child, it's really a lose-lose situation. Dorit goes, I know you can pretend that that's not the case, but it is. Garcelle said, okay, so by saying tell the truth 1,000 times, that's helping her in the long run. Garcelle is like, how is pushing someone helping them? She said, this feels exactly like what happened to Denise. And it is exactly what happened to Denise. These heifers are the actual bullies, okay? They all come down on one person simultaneously and constantly talks about, tell the truth, truth this and truth that. And they are a bunch of the fakest women of any Housewives franchise that I've seen. Child, these are some fake heifers if I ever seen some. Their truth only comes out in the confessional. Now, one of them believe Erica, but Sutton needs to tell the truth. Child, get real. So Dorit said, at Kathy's, you looked at me and you said, that's not what you said the other night. Well, honey, you were lying. That's why. You became a totally different person. That's why. Kathy is like, you're still carrying a torch for that? I thought we got past that. She's like, yeah, but I'm making a point. I can't do it, but then when she does, it's okay. Kathy said, Dorit, come on. Honey, I know that's right, baby. Kathy shut her down. Do y'all hear me? Kathy was like, I'm getting sick of it, honey. She cannot take no more. Let me tell you something. It's totally different. Y'all were highlighting Sutton to deflect. And so Erica wouldn't know the truth about the things that y'all said. That's what y'all were doing. Garcelle was trying to get you to own what you said. Own it. Okay? Shout out to Lisa Rinna. Child, it is totally different. You were about to sit there and flat out lie. Sutton was just sitting back and just observing. And when the time was right, she was going to speak her speech. Girl, goodbye. So we see Kathy in the confessional. She's like, I'm sick of it. Honey, I can't take it. I'm tired of these heifers arguing and fussing and fighting back and forth and nitpicking and and she said and I said and It's too much, okay? Too much. Rinna is like, well, there's still some hurt feelings there. So Dorit is like, yeah, we talk and then sometimes it rears its ugly head. And I like my friends to be real, transparent, and honest. That's how you, create real friendships. So then Rinna pipes up and she goes, Garcelle, let me ask you a question. You shared that you don't feel comfortable in this group. Garcelle said, no, I didn't say comfortable. I said, I don't feel accepted. She's like, well, do you like any of the women at this table? Garcelle said, yeah, some more than others. She said, if you want to be included, you need to make an effort to be a friend. Then we go to the confessional. Lisa goes, I've known Garcelle for over 20 years. We've made an effort to include her. We've had a birthday party for her at my house. Oh my God, Lord, not this again. Not the birthday party you wanted her to thank you for 20 times while y'all ate bolognese and whatnot. Honey, she's thanked you for it. What do you want her to do? Throw you a parade? She's like, Garcelle didn't even know about Kyle's birthday. So then they do a flashback to her not knowing about Kyle's birthday. That just proves she was not included in your group. How would she know that unless Kyle shared it? Did Kyle know about her birthday, or she just knew because you called her and told her you were about to throw a birthday party and feed her these bolognese and this store-bought cake? Okay? That doesn't make her a bad friend. Rinna, you're reaching. It's a reach. Girl, goodbye. So Rinna's like, for you to come out and say we're coming after you, it's not cool. Garcelle is like, who here thinks I don't like them? Everybody's like, no, I think you like me. Oh, I think they like. I think they like me. Shout out to JD. So they're like, no, I think you like me. So Rinna goes, I know you. You need to be straight up. What does that mean? I know you. You need to be straight up. Does she need to be angrier? Does she need to be more obtuse? Like, what does she need to do for you to feel like she's being straight up? Because you can't get straighter up than she's been. Like, so I don't understand what you're trying to get out of her. So Garcelle said, come on, give me a freaking break, Rinna. Get out of here. So Rinna's like, no, I won't get out of here. You need to be straight up because you can be shady. She said, we all can be shady. Honey, the shady bunch, okay? She said, Garcelle, just be honest. Let me tell y'all something. Rinna has not liked Garcelle since she took Denise's side. When she told Rinna she was not a good friend, that was the nail in the coffin. She has not liked Garcelle since, and she ain't changing it. I do not care what Garcelle does. She not gonna like her. She's like, I need to get to the bottom of this because I watched you at a table. Garcelle said, when, over at Dorit? She was like, yeah. But Garcelle said, well, when Dorit was saying all those things and nobody was coming to my defense at her house, it made me feel like I was on an island by myself. Well, child, I'd rather be on Gilligan's Island than to be anywhere with these heifers, honey. Oh, child, this is just too much. She's like, well, I'm already the only black person here, and it's not about race. But have you ever thought it may be a little odd for me? So Kyle said, well, I have, but I didn't verbalize it. Well, Kyle, you verbalize everything else, so why not that? So Garcelle was like, well, if you don't verbalize it, how am I supposed to know that? Garcelle said, look, just because I'm strong doesn't mean I'm not fragile and I'm not trying to fit in. Kathy and Erica go, you do fit in this group. She said, I don't always feel like it. Every time I walk into a room, I have to prove myself. And then she starts crying, which I wish she wouldn't have given them that. Let me just say that. I really wish that she would not have given them that. So she asked them if they have ever walked into a room and felt like they're the only one that's different. Here goes Kathy. Yeah, I have. Kathy, I like you, honey, but fall back, child. You are not the same. I know you're trying to say something, but honey, you used to hang out with Michael Jackson and them at Never Never Land and whatnot. So Garcelle, being a black woman, saying that she walks in a room and she feels different, we experience that every single day. That is real, that is raw, and that's straight up. Okay? If you want to talk about straight up. Now, Kathy, no offense to you, honey, but you are not the same. We face two totally different battles. We face two totally different struggles. So Garcelle said, try it all of your life. I know that's right. Kathy is like, I really like that you're sharing this. Here goes Rinna. Yes, thank you. And then you know how Rinna puts her hand on her chest. I could just, child, let me take a deep breath. Let me take a little pause, honey. And I'm back. Bull crap, okay? She has been saying this all along, especially to you, Rinna. She told you straight up, I don't feel like I'm accepted. Y'all wanted to break her down for her to prove she wants to be your friend. This whole little dinner scene, it didn't sit right with me. So Kyle is like, I like seeing Garcelle in this moment. No, what you mean is, I like seeing Garcelle broken and crying. I like it. So Rinna sees Kyle hug her. Then she goes over talking about you're brave and you're important. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of The Help. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. Child, okay. Let me tell you something, Rinna. You wouldn't be able to touch me. Don't hug me. Don't act like you're concerned. It's a lie. Okay? It's fake. You don't feel any kind of empathy for Garcelle whatsoever. You wanted to see her break. That was your plan all along. Honey, I wouldn't let Rinna touch me. It isn't real. You just called her a witch a few episodes ago. Replace the W with a B. They're all like, this was beautiful. So how do you feel? She goes, I feel better. Well, honey, I'm happy you feel better because I feel worse. I don't even want you to come back because I don't like the way these heifers are treating you. As they all sit there and smirk. Child, they gaslit the hell out of you and then got you to break all the way down to try to act like they're the saviors. Oh my God, you're so brave. This is beautiful. Child, please. There was nothing beautiful about this to me at all. Y'all kept picking and calling her fake and shady and everything until she cried. Initiation complete. Dorit and Rinna and all their microaggressions, honey, I cannot, okay? Y'all pushed her to the brink And then once you accomplished breaking her, you show fake empathy. Child miss me with that. So after a night of gaslighting Garcelle, Rena goes, it's 11:30. We need to go to bed. It's so amazing to me how differently Garcelle is being treated versus Erica. Erica has literally taken the food out of orphans and widows and children's mouths, her and her husband, allegedly. Because Garcelle won't tell Dorit she's a motor mouth and she needs to shut up and she needs to stop piping up and speaking her speech, Garcelle is the devil. Kathy is like, well, y'all can come back to our suite. They're like, no, not tonight. She said, well, that's the main reason I got a suite. Honey, these heifers don't know how to have a girls' trip. They're exhausted from a night of gaslighting and microaggressions. Time to hit the hay. Moving forward. It's the next day and Sutton is being pushed yet again by Garcelle. She's like, it's Black History Month. I shouldn't be doing this. Let me tell you something. This episode has triggered me, so I can't even find the humor moving forward, okay? It's triggered me beyond belief, okay? There's nobody else in this hotel to push Sutton around. Now, Sutton, you didn't do anything, honey. You're okay, but I still don't like it. I don't like anything moving forward, okay? Child, I'm just pissed after that dinner scene. It ain't much I can do about it. Moving forward. They go and have this sound bath because Kathy did that at Kim's baby shower and whatnot. Nothing but a bunch of them hitting this gong and relaxing your body. Erica Jane was not in attendance. Once it's done, Rena tells her besties, Dorit and Kyle, that Tom is going to go into a mental facility. So you know they got to go check on Erica, honey, because of course they have to make sure Erica is feeling okay. So Erica tells them she's bothered that Tom will be placed in a home. Not the cheating, abusive husband. She's like, regardless of the legal stuff, I was married to him for 22 years. Here goes Rena. Oh, of course. Shut up, Rena. So here goes Erica. Yeah, I knew this before the dinner. Erica always knows something beforehand. Honey, you knew about those victims' money too, before this season started. Allegedly. She's like, I sat there with this last night. Erica does this so it makes it seem like she's carrying such a heavy load. Girl gone. Kyle is like, well, do you agree with this? She's like, no, because of my grandmother. She said when my grandmother was in her home, Tom paid for that. You mean the victim's money paid for that? But carry on. She's like, we have to remember that. Ma'am, cut it out. So then Rena goes, well, where is his family? Erica's like, his family doesn't want the stain of being associated with him. It's tragic. Honey, it sounds like Sutton to me. So then Rena goes, no matter what Tom has done allegedly or not, there's a motherly connection that Erica has with wanting to protect him. And I understand that as a mother. Rena, please stop talking, honey. She was not his mother. She was his wife. She slept with him. That makes absolutely no sense. Child, you just say any old thing. You can't come up with anything unless the soap opera network writes it for you. Oh, child. Erica said, I may be getting a divorce from this man, but I have not divorced from caring for another human being. And scene. And child, that was the end of the episode. Child, that was it. And y'all tell me how y'all feel about this down below, because I was triggered all the way up and through. I do not like the way that they were treating Garcelle. Dorit, you better learn how to talk, okay? Because you need to fix your mouth to speak to her with respect. You understand? Okay, and you can take that however you want to take it. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.